Your January 12th Monday Power Hour meeting with Katelyn, Carly, and Claire. We were just summarizing the video that we were watching earlier today, just explaining who he was. We think he's a U.S. agent. We were saying, I think Claire is not, I wouldn't say impressed, that's a strong word, but.
Versus what we've been watching. We've been watching Chris Leader, we did last year. We tried Sirhant, but then Sirhant's a little bit, I think he relies on other people to do it. And it was a little bit more too celebrity almost. So this guy just seems more straight to the point.
I think it's part of just our creative brain wanting something new every 6 months.
Yes.
Right? Like we can talk all the same things. Ryan Sirhant can say the same thing. Mike Ferry can say the same thing. But I think we just need to shake it up. You need a different tone of voice, just something else, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay because you get little tidbits of everything that you watch, right?
But so far, I like him. We'll
you guys, does anybody here do that? Does anybody here just look at YouTube videos on real estate ideas and different concepts?
Just Claire and I.
Condo bond.
Okay. Like I do it all the time. I have to find something, but I'm interested in AI. I'm curious what AI and real estate are coming together. I haven't seen it yet, but
and like how it's going to replace us.
No, it's not going to replace us.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot about AI in terms of like what our clients are looking at and how they're using it, and that's how you need to be aware of what's happening in the world, not necessarily even for your systems, but your clients are also using AI behind the scenes. We need to know how and why.
I don't know, I think it's a great tool. Even for us, for example, I used ChatGPT to create the entire year of our newsletters. We have one going out every other week, and I just said what topics I want, and it created 24 emails for me with the dates, and then all I had to do was actually physically get it into our CRM and set it up, but all of our emails are set up for the entire year, every other week.
It's done.
Just based on ChatGPT.
Thank you so much for doing that for the team.
But it honestly maybe took me about 5 hours total. So if you guys are thinking about email marketing and all that stuff, that's
Instagram. I was just posting something and I saw it says if you're using AI, you're required to mention this is AI generated.
I think if it's like those videos like Sora and stuff like that, you're gonna notice a lot more reels and stuff as you're scrolling. There's a lot of videos that are actually AI generated, so I think and they're like legit. Like they'll put like Trump or something saying something crazy, but it's an AI generated. Like they're very real now, so I think you have to.
I think we're going to see more of that disclaimer, and I don't think it's a bad idea either. It's getting really confusing.
Scary.
I feel bad for older people on social media right now because you'll see some wild posts of like dolphins swimming with like children, and you're like, oh my god, it looks so sweet, and then you're like, wait, no, that can't be real, and it's not.
There's things that are just like not real. I saw a dog like sledding down a hill on itself on its belly, and the parent looked so proud of it, and I was like, oh, that's a good pet, and I realized it was AI. Like it's getting very real.
I think somebody's going to come up with a YouTube alternative that says no AI generated YouTube because you can't tell what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
And then a lot of fake stuff. People have hidden agendas that they're pointing out there, so it's really messing things up, right?
Yeah. But to go backtrack, Katelyn was using AI to complete all of our CRMs, all of our emails for the Fulton team is done now. You spent 5 hours doing that. You used AI to do it.
Yeah.
So the whole day, basically.
Yeah,
but
it was
it's
just
done
sessions. So, and I think we've reminded you guys even you should all have your email marketing set for the year. It's January.
Yeah, I think that's a
great
great
email marketing for the last 3 years, and some agents don't take me seriously.
I think that's a good thing to not do at home. If you want to listen to Claire's advice and come into the office, come in the office and do your CRM. Come, hunker down, be with other people that are doing it. Spend a good 5 hours, ask us ideas, but just do it and get it done, and then go home. Don't. I wouldn't use your home time.
I could never
that.
do it at my house.
No,
never.
No, you did it here. Hunker down with headphones in.
Yeah, I usually have headphones, and that usually means I'm doing something creative. But if you guys are doing your CRM, definitely it's a.
This fellow today on the video today, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. It's
I know, I gotta figure it out.
Mulrenin.
I can't even read your writing, let alone pronounce it.
I don't know how to say his name.
Anyway, so he had a fellow on there, young fellow there, a new agent there, been in the business for 2 years there, and he asked him how often do you cold call. His thing was cold calling, and he says, how many hours a day?
Well, they said on average 3. He goes, no, it's usually on average like 4 to 7. So it depends if he has an appointment that day. Obviously, it's going to be less. But if he has nothing to do, then it's about 4 to 7 hours.
And he does phone prospecting, but you could do other prospecting as well. It doesn't have to be. You could be phone prospecting your clients' phone. But the point is, he's putting in 3 hours on average a day just prospecting.
And
Yeah.
7 days a week. But he did say, I'm not married and I have no kids, so I have nothing else to do. So obviously his schedule is
No,
going to
but
be more.
he's building his future, right?
Yeah,
So-
I think they're saying $20K a month is what he makes.
Is this in Canada or US?
This is all U.S. So obviously they were talking about expired listings, which you guys are not allowed to do, but there's other ways around it, of
No,
course.
you're not allowed to identify expired listings through MLS.
Yeah. You can't say, hey, I called you because your listing expired. These guys can. we have other loopholes you would have to go through. But you can still prospect.
Yeah, the ChatGPT is pretty strong. It's to the point now where my ChatGPT knows what I do and how many kids I have and what business I'm in. And it
That's if
answers-
you have an account, right? Like if you log in and
I have an
you're
account,
using
but it says to me, he says, as a real estate broker, you might want to do this, and that, so it's, but you still have to correct it. It's not 100%.
Yeah.
But if you said to, hey, I want to want to create a farm in a farm area, what are the steps? It'll tell you, bang, 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 bang. Nelson, you're using ChatGPT now, so they ask Nelson's questions. He'll say, "What do you think about this situation?" He'll ChatGPT it just to get a second opinion.
Get a fourth
I
opinion.
use them.
All right,
I think I'm
but
on
it
it all the
lies.
time.
You have to be smart. You have to understand what you're asking. You have to, because it's not a human being. So
When it comes to numbers, it can be a little wonky, but
Yeah.
that should be one of the tools that's just open all the time.
But I was reading. You're reading now too. I know that your clients are going to be reading AI. So your clients, rather than phone you asking a question saying, "What do I do with the leak on the roof?" they're going to ChatGPT it themselves.
Yep.
All right.
For the most part.
Good.
So who ran open houses? I have a feeling not too many of you, because I didn't get a lot in the Broker Bay email. Did anyone online talk about open houses? This is your chance now if you're online watching. No. Anyone run showings, running with buyers, like running around GTA showing houses? Or is it still just January kind of prep mode right now? I think it's January prep mode. We're getting emails right now.
Nobody's working.
No, that's okay, because I think this is the time when people are getting their systems ready and getting set up, right? I'll just share some trends or tales from the street that I've been hearing over the past week or weekend. Sellers are very sensitive right now. This has been happening sort of all year. But if you leave a door unlocked, or you show up late to an appointment or early to an appointment, or anything, if you walk in with dirty shoes or anything that you wouldn't normally do, but if it happens, sellers are way more sensitive right now, and you're most likely going to hear an email. I don't know if Nelson, if you're hearing stuff like this, like I'm getting other selling agents saying, I'm going to call Rico on you, you left the garage door open, or I just find that they're more sensitive right now. So just be careful.
Because they're only getting like a couple showings a week, so it's not. So
Yeah.
when they finally leave the house for that one showing, then they come back and
Yeah, they're on
the
high
door's
alert,
unlocked.
right?
It's
In
a little.
in a hot market where you had lots of showings and offers, people were less, things were happening, but people weren't complaining as much. So just be careful when you're showing houses out there.
It's funny you
as
say that, because we got complaints now from the consumers. It's weird, eh?
A lot.
well. Yeah.
What would you guys do? You had a client that wants a showing. It's a vacant property. They want to start showings on the Saturday, so they want the staging done on the Thursday, the Friday. Stager shows up and there's no key to the house. They can't find the key, whatever else he's lost, and we have to make an executive decision. What would you do? And the sellers aren't calling us back, right? So they're making notes to the seller. The stager's waiting to put the stuff in the house. What would you do? So I'll tell you what happened. They want that weekend, right?
They call a locksmith.
Called locksmith, yeah, okay. So somebody called it a locksmith, changed the locks, and made it happen, right? And they did the thing. So 6 months later, we get a complaint from the seller saying that my agent changed the locks without my permission.
You'd have to get the consent.
But executive decision. I didn't give you all the details, but this is the Carly's point.
This is what, yeah, they want it sold, they want the highest price, but they also want it done ASAP.
And the property, by the way, sold and closed 6 months ago, and they made the complaint today. So
they were waiting.
it's so wacky out there. So how upset can you be if it takes you 6 months to complain, right?
It's almost like, they were upset, they had been brewing on this, and then 6 months later got the courage to, submit the complaint. I don't know, but yeah, just be careful.
There's statute of limitations.
Statute of
Yeah,
limitations
that's
is
true,
2
yeah.
years, unfortunately. Yeah,
And it's not like they benefit from it.
2 years is legal. Legally, 2 years is statute of limitations. Yeah.
And someone could and not flush.
See, like that, and this stuff would have
The same
happened
thing,
before,
and-
but
and-
someone's going
and
to
you-
complain now
you
about
never
that.
imagine you never imagine yourself that your clients, when you're not looking, use the washroom and forgot to flush. Is that what you're saying?
Oh was a big log.
Or like a kid or someone.
Like, how do
a
you?
child has to go.
Totally.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's so many situations.
So,
If the
so you
kid's
shouldn't be
gotta go.
you shouldn't be using the washrooms anyways. But yeah.
But weird things happen, and I don't know. It is what it is. Other trend I'm noticing, I signed a lot of cancel relists over the weekend. So I think that's a good thing. That means we're changing prices and getting ready for listings and taking our advice and doing it now and not waiting, till the March, till the spring. So
The
that's a good
common
thing.
question we're getting though is the paperwork. For some
Yeah,
reason,
exactly, yeah.
you guys do not like to do the paperwork.
So I
An
get-
agent asked this week, can I de-relist today with one agreement or
The
something?
question is,
just one
can I
piece of paper.
just? As soon as you
Can I
put the word
just?
just in there, you kind of know that you're kind of trying to skirt the normal
Basically, it's
process.
asking
right?
permission to not do the proper paperwork.
Yeah, it's not that complicated though. So the way I would do a cancel relist today is I would ask the front desk to clone your current listing in Realm, ask them to change what you want. So the price, the listing date, and the expiry date, and anything else that you need to change. They'll send you a PDF Realm preview that becomes your MLS data sheet now. So you're not redoing that whole form again. Although if you needed to, you could still just use the form you have. It's just you're only changing the dates and the price. And then your listing agreement, you'll probably have a PDF of that already on your computer. Just change the dates and the price and those two forms.
And send a cancellation to you.
And then the cancellation, easiest I can sign to send it to me the same time you're sending it to your clients. But I would put your cancellation form at the end so you get your new listing before your canceled one. But I can sign it electronically. So you don't need to send me an attachment. I can sign it in DigiSign as well.
But that's the way to get it. 0
cancellation-
days on market, but
Yeah.
you can't avoid the paperwork.
So
unfortunately.
cancellation form, MLS data sheet, or Realm preview, and then a new listing agreement. And that will make sure that it becomes a fresh new listing. The status will be new. It will be day 0 if you do that exact day. Versus a price change or versus extension. So I'm seeing a lot of EXT, which means you've extended the current contract, but be careful with that because a lot of buyers agents won't select EXT as a field in the new property search field. Right? So probably you want to do.
I have seen agents do that. They couldn't find it on Realm because they selected available or something, and then
Yeah.
they didn't select
They selected
because
new.
EXT or they were all unmarked. They couldn't
Yeah.
find it, and they were really confused. And it just turned out it was an extended.
So just a couple of
status.
technical things, right? What they just said here. So if an agent, hopefully you guys don't do it. If you guys search for listings, are you searching for actives or are you looking for new?
Like when you're on the buy side and you're setting up a
So
search.
if you're
Sometimes
looking,
you may unselect sold conditional.
yeah, because if you're
don't want
if you're
that.
looking for new, then extend is not going to come up.
And actually, it's more of a trend now that listings have been extended. So if you are on a buyer looking for something in particular, I would check mark that EXT just in
Same
case.
goes with price change, right?
Yep, same thing. PC, price change. I would even do sold conditional in a market like this too, so you get everything. Right?
Yeah.
Now there used to also be, and I'm looking at Nelson here or Ginny, if you clone a listing and just just change the price, let's say you did it on your own. Let's say our staff didn't do it downstairs. You did it on your own. All you did is you cloned the listing and reran a new listing. Aren't the photos get screwed up, don't they?
You can't.
Don't know if they
you
do
can't clone.
anymore. They did on Stratus.
They don't clone. You can't clone photos.
You can't clone
have to-
photos
you have to
anymore. You
re-upload
have to
them.
upload the photos.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes care of that problem. Because
Yeah.
before it was happening, they were coming little postage stamps
Yeah.
photos instead of the
I
full
think
photos,
that's
and that's because people were cloning listings. So-
Doesn't even let you do that anymore. So
Yeah.
on that note, make sure you keep your raw photo links to the front desk. Oftentimes will have it, but sometimes the links expire from your photographers. So just be careful of that too. There's lots of stuff.
And that's I guess where you'll see that you'll see that they're branded, have like the company name on the photo, and sometimes you'll see it twice.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is because they've used their old photo from MLS instead of using the original photo they got from the photographer.
Yeah. So download your photos because I know ours it expires after
Yeah.
a little bit. So
Yeah.
if you're using Ming, I know his link expires after a certain amount
Yeah,
of
sometimes
time.
they don't keep it either. They're doing tons of photos. They don't have a database of your photos either. On that note, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I just thought of it now. For photos, I get the daily listings every day, and some of the photos of our listings are not amazing. I'm even seeing I guess it's because they're leases,
embarrassing.
and it's because it's a rental, so we don't take pride and quality in that. So maybe we've copied it from an old one or just taken it with your phone in the driveway with the car there. But I don't know, have some pride in all of your listings, even if they are lease listings, because it's still $1,000, $2,000. I don't know. It's still your client you're servicing. It's your portfolio. You're showing to the world and to your clients what you do with your listing. So I can see
Doesn't look good.
I just think you could do a little bit. Even if your cell phone photos are fine, if you have a good phone, but make sure it's framed and the lighting is good.
Make sure it's horizontal.
You want to do
it's
horizontal, not this
vertical.
way with lines at the bottom.
Has anybody seen the photos where they're they're this instead of that.
Or
So
some will be this
so someone's
way,
just
some will
taking a
be
picture.
that.
They think they're taking Instagram
But even on a
pictures, right?
phone, a vertical photo is going to have black lines right through it just because of the way it gets uploaded to ROM or prop text.
I think it's good to have a photographer go in and take the
I do
photos
too.
or at least, because then you can at least save them for your client, or for example, if the tenants move out and you have a vacant listing, get it taken now. If
Yeah.
they want to sell it down the road, you've got the photo, so you're not, the tenant
Yeah.
didn't screw up the whole place.
How
So-
often have we relisted a lease
lot.
listing for an investor client and we
lot.
reuse the photos over and over
Yeah.
from before the tenant moves
So I
in?
think it's worth it to pay. I think Ming charges like $100, so like there's really no excuse not to hire a photographer these days to take them. Like, I know we're all trying to save money, but it
Yeah.
does reflect.
Have
on
some
you.
pride, yeah.
The other stuff for photos too, like you guys don't have to put every single room on your listing. So if you have this ugly laundry room or an unfinished basement that just looks junky, just you don't have to put every single photo in there. Buyers are very particular now, so I just think you don't have to put everything in there. Storage rooms, all that stuff.
True. We could go on, lots of tips.
Yeah.
My last trend I've been noticing is lots more sales of conditions on the sale of the buyer's property. And then I'm seeing even more of a trend where you're getting a backup offer and a third backup offer. And so that stuff is really fun. That's happening right now. Don't be scared of that stuff. Just come to Nelson or me when you're in that situation for the right clauses and to talk through the timing. Like I even had to call Nelson just to talk through, okay, it's a 48-hour escape. How many hours, what's the notice period? There's a lot of variables involved in that. So just talk to us when you get into that situation. We'll help you out. Okay. Should we jump right into
Okay, so stats as of January 11th. So we got 17, almost 18,000 active listings, 9,000 are freeholds, 8,000 are condos, vacant about 40%. Sales, unfortunately, right now we're running about 29% less than the first 11 days in January last year. Last year we had 3,800 sales in January, which is a nothing month. I mean, less than $4,000 isn't impressive. What were the sales in December? 3,000 something? What were they?
Just
Yeah, December was
36, almost 3,700.
yeah 30. So again, less than 4,000. So and then last January was the same. Sales. So again, so we got about 739 sales already for the first 11 days January. Last year we had about 1,000. So again, minus 29%. Freeholds are minus 22%. Condominiums are minus 39%. Anybody having problems selling condos right now? No condo listings? Yeah. Over down there, we got you. We'll talk about that later, right, Alex? In case we got a good buyer for that.
Keeping them up at night.
Sales over asking. Only 10% of the properties are selling for over asking. If that's an option or a topic you want to try to do, daily sales. Is anybody, you guys keeping track of daily sales? So if you did like 5,000 sales, 200 sales for the month, per day. Would be 6,000 sales, right? So the first 11 days this year, we got 67 sales per day. Now, last week and the week before, this is kind of a funny year, right? Because last week was a full week, but it kind of wasn't, right? Because everybody's sort of getting back into the game, right? So I did a little crunch there, and I found out that the last 3 weeks in January last year were triple what the first 2 weeks were in January. So I'm not surprised that the sales are so bad for the first week in January, and I'm expecting things to pick up from here. Projected months of inventory based on the current stats is about 8.6 months of inventory, but I think we ended up, what was last month, 5? Mm-hmm. About 5, 4.9 or something
4.9,
4.9, something like that, right?
For which?
Month of inventory.
Months of inventory.
4.6.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, good. So if we projected the sales, 4.6? Okay. And from December 11th, as I said, the first week in January is expected. So if we find it slow, it's expected. The first 11 days in December, for instance, our sales are down 57% from December, the first 11 days. That's because December's at the end of the year. So I'm expecting these numbers to be low, and that's what they are. Mm-hmm. Leases, 19,000 active leases.
Wow.
I mentioned last week how that we did more leases. Toronto Real Estate Board did more leases than they did sales last year. So that's an ongoing trend. I don't know how we stop that. I don't know how.
It's not stoppable by us.
No, really? Okay. 61% of all leases are vacant. Leases themselves are actually down 5% from last year, and they're down 33% from December. December, I believe, was an extraordinary month for leases, only because of those individuals that are moving downtown, that the government's forced them to go downtown. I think a lot of leases were taken up in December. Mm-hmm. So
those were current stats. Do we want to go over December stats then?
Sure,
Or no?
you can do
That's
that.
more
Yeah.
accurate than.
Yeah, you can go over
I don't
the
want to
stats,
erase
yeah.
everything you just said though. So December stats just came out as well. We sent out social media bricks as well as Katelyn does. If you've noticed, a listing presentation 1-pager that's meant for you guys to print and take with you to your next listing appointment or even a buyer's appointment. Just to
It's
talk
when
about
you guys
the
are talking
sales.
about the stats, because I know a lot of agents struggle with talking about these numbers, so it's a guide for you guys just to bring with you.
Yeah, so it's right there for you. So sales total 2025, like Claire just mentioned, 3697 versus 2024 were 4,056. So the sales were down for December 2025 versus 2024, almost 9%. So it's not surprising that we're still down even today. New listings were up slightly December 2025, 5299 versus 5205 2024. So just up just under about 2%. Active listings, though, are significantly up. So even though we were way down from the 30,000 that we were tracking, we got all the way down to 17,005 listings in December versus 2024 was just over 14,000. So actual active listings were up 17.5%. That's a result of listings just sitting
More
there
options.
and not selling, though, as well. Average price finally went down 5% again for December versus 2024. It's now sitting at just over $1,006,000. So we're almost hitting 2019 pre-COVID prices, not quite yet. So compared to 2024, December was $1,060,000, so it's down 5%. And the average price in 2020 was $926,000. So we're just inching still between 2021 and 2020 pricing. So we're right over just COVID pricing. It's
COVID
down.
price.
Average days on market, a little bit different than how we present it in the brick. So Market Watch does days. So average listing days on the market was 41 days compared to 36. So that was up about 14%. And then it's up even more if you consider the cancel relist. It's a total of 65 days average days on market, which makes sense. That's like 2 months.
Yeah.
Right. So I said last time too, like as agents, we've just sort of gotten more patient. When we put a new listing up, I'm not waiting for that first showing to come up that first day. You know, it may take a couple days for that first
It's
showing.
good to know for staging and stuff. If you know your listings are going to take 60 days to sell, you might have to talk to your stagers about, I don't know, some sort of agreement. So you don't have to pay for more.
Yeah.
Some are getting more flexible.
Ours has gotten very flexible because you're going to need it for almost 90 days now.
So you think about all those stages out there. The stages have all the inventory and all the manpower for like 30,000 listings.
Yeah.
Now there's only 17,000 listings. So I think you have a little more negotiating skills as an agent, right?
Yeah, I would definitely negotiate between 60 and 90 days now for your staging.
Is anybody back in 21, 20, remember, 21, 22, remember back in 23, everybody had listings and people come to us, or Nelson come to us and say, hey, my property's not sold. How long has it been on the market? 4 days.
Yeah. I don't have any showing.
You guys remember?
When did you put on the market? Yesterday.
Do you guys remember
recently
that?
had that.
You guys remember that? Oh, I'm nervous. What's going on? Well, it's been on the market for 5 days. It hasn't sold yet.
Yeah, we had an agent very recently say their house isn't sold. I'm like, oh my gosh, how long's it been? I think it was 6 days. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, you gotta buckle up.
Yeah, you have to
gotta
change
ride.
your whole mindset and you have to be really transparent with your seller clients as well. Don't let them wait by their phone for the broker bay appointment or even for feedback or, you know.
Don't even say your house is gonna sell in a week. That conversation's done now.
No, you got to
So
position it
65
properly.
days is the average with the cancel relists.
That's on a home priced well and accordingly.
Which is a good conversation now too, because you've got clients that are thinking about selling in the spring right now. So one of the questions we've been asking is, well, when do you want to be moved into your next place? And they'll say, I want to be moved in by May or June. You're like, okay, well, if you're thinking about that, you need to get it on the market now, because it could take 60 days to close and then another 30 to 60, 90 days to sell, then to close.
Yeah.
So like if they want to be moved in by the summer, they might need to be starting to think about doing that now, or
Yeah.
have the conversations sooner than later.
And I'm even reading of articles of top producers that have prepped all of their listings already in this past December, and they're getting ready to hit the market this week. So they've done all
They're
the
not
prep,
even
they've done all the
waiting for the
decluttering, the staging's done, photos are done, they're hitting the market this week. They've been prepping for it, so
Yeah,
you're going to see it.
They're not advising to wait for this spring. I don't know if prices will go down. But
No. In terms of pricing, so detached, even though the average price is, like I said, just over $1 million, detached still right now, if you combine 416 and 905, it's $1.3 million. That's still quite high for a detached house. And I'm also reading that part of our problem with the market turning right now is that there's not a lot of good 3 to 4 bedroom detached houses available. So even though we think there's tons of inventory, you know, there's 9,700 freeholds. Of that, maybe the quality is not so good and the pockets aren't necessarily what people want.
Yeah.
Semis are about 957 if you combine the two. Townhouses 862, and condos are still average price 628,000. In the 416, it's 663 versus 555. Well, that's still quite high for condos. I don't know if you're surprised by that or not. So even though we know condo prices have gone down 7%, the average price of a condo for the average person to get into the market is still very high. I think overall prices are still very high, and I think that's what's driving most of our market slowness right now too, because everything else is at a standstill. That's the only thing that's constant. Semi-detached have taken the top in terms of price decreases at about 11%. So semis maybe not as desirable as detaches. Yeah, that was your December stats, and what Claire just said is more accurate in terms of today, January, what's happening in your current weeks. But this is what the media is going to report on, what your social media is going to report on, what your consumers are going to see this coming week, because these just got released last week. So they're going to be watching this. They're going to be talking about prices going down and sales being at an all-time low, because the total sales for 2025 was just over 62,433 versus 2024 was 70,000. So sales are definitely down. They're on a downward trend. But yeah.
So back to those numbers. Just if you guys are really into it, like it depends on your brain, right? If you're left brain, then you really dig into the numbers, or you got a client that digs into numbers, you got to understand the numbers. Mm-hmm. So even though they're saying here that if you look at the newspapers, they're going to say that 2025 the average price was $1,065,000 or something.
Just 1,006,000, yeah.
But actually in December it was actually $1,006,000. So they take the whole year average and they come up with $1,067,000 if they take the whole year average. But if you take December by itself, it's $1,006,000. So what's more accurate?
I think yearly stats.
The yearly stats would be more accurate. So properties in December sold for $1,006,000 and the yearly average is $1,060,000. So you're telling me that $1,060,000 is more accurate than $1,006,000?
I think so.
Even though it was December number, right?
Your sellers will think
So
that.
are you a seller or are you an agent?
Yeah, your sellers, but we should be looking at whatever the last.
The reason why I say that is because the prices started the year in January at $1,041,000 and then it peaked out at $1,123,000, 120.
Just 1-1. They hit 1-1.
Yeah. So that's why the HPI sometimes comes better than the average price. If the HPI takes out all the averages and stuff like that and tells you what's going on there. So. Interesting.
Yeah. So prices are coming down, which is a good thing. We just said that they're kind of compared in between the 2021, 2020. But who that is going to hurt is anybody who did buy in 2020 and 2021. So we talked a little bit about all the mortgages that are about to come up for renewal this year. They're predicting 1 million mortgages are up for renewal sometime this year.
And their interest rates are going to be a lot.
The interest rates are triple what they would have done in that time. Their jobs might have changed in that time as well, right? So do you guys have clients that are in that situation? You probably do, because some of you had your best months during those years, right? So we started reaching out to our clients that bought in that time to introduce them to mortgage brokers to help them renew.
Yeah.
You did that last week
Yeah,
in
we
an
had
email.
some good feedback from it. So if you guys are trying to figure out a way to get in contact with your past clients, go back to your 2021 list and let them know, hey, your mortgage renewal might be up this year, might not be now or end of year, but it's a good time to start shopping for rates. And if they don't want to stay with their current bank, maybe they can connect with someone like Duran who can shop it around, but they're going to be in for a little bit of a shock. So it's a good way to be supportive for them right now.
Yeah, like they're saying even a 20% increase on their monthly payment. So if you had a mortgage of about $550, it's going to be about $550 more per month.
Very significant.
It's really significant. So over these past 5 years, there's still going to be a category of people that were professional, dual income. They've been saving money. Maybe they even refinanced earlier to get ahead of this thing. Maybe they even did renovations. So it's not going to affect everybody negatively, but it is certainly going to affect a lot of people that way. Yeah, like either it's just a very different. Even their jobs could have changed in that time. Anyone that bought pre-con who were approved at that time with a pre-approval letter, their whole situation is going to change nowadays too as
The
well, right?
appraisal and the rates, so it's gonna be interesting.
So some things to avoid is, some people didn't lock into a fixed rate in time. So if you were savvy, you might have locked in last year, but now likely you're not going to do fixed rate unless you're super conservative about how to forecast that. The other thing too is be careful. This is what you can tell your clients. These are talking points to them, but depending on when you renew, your mortgage company is going to send you like an automated letter, or it's either going to come through an app or through a letter. And it's very easy to just click that and accept it. But they're saying don't just accept that right away. Make sure you talk to them or that you're negotiating or talking to a broker. And also the date that you actually accept it is the date the new rate comes into effect. So you may not want to do it exactly until a couple days right before your renewal term is to sort of keep the benefit of that. Other things that they're saying, so you could maybe pay off a lump sum of your mortgage to reduce the difference of, to offset the new interest price as well. I know I did that with my mortgage to help a little bit. Some of your terms allows you to pay a lump sum towards it. So these are just things to talk to your client about to help alleviate that a little bit, because some of them are going to be in stressful situations and some are not. Some would have planned for this for a while and they're in professional situations as well. You touched on it a little bit earlier. People are back to work. Looks like the federal workers are back 5 days a week. There's 4 out of the 6 big banks are also back to work 5 days a week. And I am reading that rental prices have gone up downtown, that vacancy rates are lowering, and that the inventory is getting picked up. Are you guys seeing that? Is anyone working the downtown CO1 core for rentals?
They got a higher price than, or Nelson got a higher price.
A higher price. I'm hearing multiple offers again in CO1, CO8 as well for rentals.
For leases?
And I'm reading too that the quality of the tenants is very high. These are AAA tenants, professionals. They could actually afford to buy condos. They don't want to because they want to see, if this back to work thing is going to last, if another pandemic's going to come about. I don't know if you've seen the flu rates lately, but the flu is abnormally high, especially considering we're forcing people to go back to work. It's a bit ironic. And to see if their jobs are literally going to keep them back to work. Maybe that would change a little bit in the future too, depending on what happens. So they're not in a position to buy, even though financially it could. So these are really good tenants. They're willing to pay good money for a good unit downtown. These are people coming from areas like finance, tech, law, government. So it's not just federal government. And these are pretty lucrative tenants, so they're competing now for good units as well. And that's what's causing a lot of the surge. So I don't know if this is a good thing or not. I know they say it is for the downtown core, but I just think that young people are going to revolt one day. I don't think they're going to last 5 days a week long term. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. Many of these people already bought houses outside the GTA, so they're not in a position to sell because they probably would have sold for lower than what they bought it for. So these are people looking for condos on subway lines, close to GO stations as well, because they're not driving, they're not going to do traffic either. So it's very interesting right now. And this has really just started last week. So I think traffic's gotten a lot worse as well as a result, if you've been downtown also. But that's good for the rental
They've got all
market.
that new LRTs.
They've one part of the line,
Yeah,
I
the
think, is
LRT
running.
in Finch is getting bad press, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
I think all of it is.
No, it was supposed to start last September.
Too bad, man. They could have benefited from that.
I think it's going to be slow too.
What, the actual build of it? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's rentals downtown. The other thing, and part of that too, is commercial space. The vacancy rates are lowering as well because people are needing more space. So I'm reading to a lot of agents where companies would have got rid of their space in 2022. Now they're trying to get it back, and they would have subleased it for a long time. Now they're trying to cancel those contracts and just trying to get it back for themselves. I'm also reading that there's a lack of space for employees to go to now. So Ford made a statement that they're trying to create more space for their government employees. It's kind of ironic. They're forcing everyone to go back to work, but there's not necessarily enough space for everyone to do that, to be available. So it seems sort of early to do that. But part of the trend too with commercials that the amenities have really increased. So they're trying to entice people to come back and enjoy work with fitness studios and lounges and nice modern workspaces. So that's all going to change the commercial space as well. I'm glad that we got our new office when we did, because I think it's going to be even harder now to get new, nice office space as well.
Just a couple off real estate things here. This is the Thorncliffe Park condos. They finally got
Oh my gosh.
they finally got allowed to be moved back in. Remember they had
That's
that
terrible.
fire between the two buildings?
Yeah.
That was like November 27th, and it just went in like last week. What a mess that'd be. And that's a condominium, that's a private condominium. This is not government thing, so anybody that has to be fixed, is condo owners going to have to fix it. So any of those extra bills and expenses can be the condo owners. So those buildings are going to have a hard time.
That's true.
It's at 11 Thorncliffe Park. Anybody know those buildings? Or anybody here? No? No.
So you're saying there's going to be listings there?
Don't know if there'll be listings. There should be some listings there. I think they may have some special assessments. That's all I'm getting at. So. And also another rule came in last January 1st for carbon monoxides. Again, I was hoping everybody would talk to your clients about this. Did you guys just an Instagram thing or Facebook or something?
Yeah.
The government now requires carbon monoxide detectors on every floor of a house. And as Nelson mentioned last week, if you're a tenant and you're renting out rooms, if you're a landlord and renting out rooms to tenants, even rent out the whole house to tenants, you have to have carbon monoxide in each bedroom as well as each floor.
Each bedroom.
Each bedroom.
Each bedroom. But not a condominium. But if you're renting a house and it's 4 bedrooms, each bedroom, and even though it's one family, you still have to have 4 carbon monoxide. Is that right?
Every sleeping
area has a
For a
carbon
tenanted
monoxide. So
property?
this is something you want to, if you've got clients that have investment properties, or just put them in your Instagram or Facebook, just remind everybody.
In Toronto?
Toronto. This is Ontario.
So we all need it too.
I guess it makes sense, like liability-wise, right?
So I guess if something happens, insurance won't cover it then if you don't have that, I would assume. So I think you probably have to have it.
Yeah. It's a dangerous thing. I mean, there's been landlords in Oshawa in the past have been charged criminally for not having smoke alarms, active smoke alarms, in the building. All right, and people. In one case, I'm thinking where there was a fire and people died, and I think they charged the landlords.
I'm reading more about affordability is still an issue. Obviously, we know the average price is still over $1 million, so it's still just not affordable for many people. Incomes haven't caught up yet, still with the rising costs. But that said, it turned into a market where the investors have gone away, right? So we're not seeing the investors come in and flipping and getting tenants in there. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because they're trying to make it more affordable for Canadians to be able to buy houses and live in it themselves. And then our friend in the U.S. just came out with something similar, that he plans to prohibit large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. So that was Mr. Trump in the U.S. came out with a statement saying they're taking immediate steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and they'll be calling on Congress to codify that. He's saying people live in homes, not corporations. And when he talks about large corporations, he's saying there's companies that own like thousands of doors, like 1,000 doors or 800 doors, and these are big, large institutional corporations that are picking up single-family homes and renting them out. So they're trying to put a stop to that. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, and I think that's what we're already looking at in Canada. That's why people are renting. Our investors are sort of gone. So most of the people you're going to be working with are end users who are buying homes to put their families in and to live in. And that's not a bad thing for you guys as agents. I think that's the majority of your client pool anyways, unless you were doing predominantly pre-construction. That would be a little bit more challenging. But these are going to be end users that are buying and looking at homes and have life changes, and comes back to everything we always talk about, right? So affordability, though, is still definitely an issue, and a lot of economists are saying it's a slow grind to improving that because rates are sort of at a standstill right now as well.
There are companies in Canada doing the same thing, but not Toronto. Toronto's too expensive, so they're
Yeah.
usually the outskirts. Of that,
Yeah,
so.
no, that's true. You can keep going if you have something to piggyback on.
Here's your box. Did you see that?
I did see that.
City Hall. So again, I'm just going to throw out some numbers here. See if you guys remember. What was the most amount of sales that we had in Toronto Real Estate Board ever? Number of sales, right? Over 120,000, right? They're saying here 124 or so. What was 2025?
63.
So a half, right? So imagine the City of Toronto, whose budget is based on land transfer tax. Their land transfer tax got clobbered by a half a point.
Yeah.
So they increased the fees only by 2.2%. But what they're saying here in this article here is that the city is figuring that it's going to increase. So back in, if you want some numbers here, they had 5 years ago they collected $1.2 billion in land transfer taxes. 1.2 in 5 years ago. Last year it was 800,000. So not quite half, but certainly quite a bit. Certainly down at least 30%, anyways, 40%. But they're projecting for 2026. They're saying it's going to be $850,000. So the city of Toronto is projecting an increase in sales for real estate.
So if you're not careful and you're reading Reddit posted the exact same headline and they're saying, why are they so optimistic? Or they think sales are going to come back and the market's going to be good? Not necessarily. They're banking on the fact that they've just increased taxes for properties over $3 million because that segment of the industry is actually not doing so bad. And their increase in the budget this year is a reflection of them predicting that they're going to collect more taxes on your $3 million and above properties. But online, they think that everything is, the prediction that the market's going to be great. But it's actually not.
I think there's huge pent-up demand up there. There's only 65,000. There's a huge pent-up demand.
Yeah, but they're not buying still because it's too expensive. So they're waiting and watching, and they're going to wait for price 5% now. They're going to keep waiting until prices go down more and more. We're seeing more and more. We're even seeing it as a brokerage now. Two things: projects are getting canceled, and either the builder is asking for commissions to be paid back. So maybe they got paid commission. With pre-construction, you can get paid almost in 3 installments depending on how the builder is paying out. Sometimes it's a little bit right away, it's a little bit more in the middle of it, and then you get the rest at closing. So oftentimes we would have got paid for maybe 1 or 2 payments. The condo project closes, and now they're asking for that payment to be paid back. So that's happening more and more. There are some builders that are not paying commissions at all. So they never, adhered to the first part of their contract. Now it's not closing. They're still not paying commissions. Some condos have even closed and registered and have been completed, and they're still not paying commissions. So there's a project in the West End. There's a particular brokerage that brokered about 40 of units. It's only a very small building of 100 units. They brokered about 40 of them. 6 of them defaulted. So 6 out of the 40 didn't close, and the developer's position is, well, because you didn't fulfill that part of your contract, we're not going to pay any more commissions at all. So there's going to be a bit of a legal suit. It's not true. In reality, each transaction is treated as a separate transaction with commission attached to it. But I do know of bigger brokerages that are subcontracted sell not just 1, but maybe 10, 20 units. And depending on what that contract looks like, maybe they do have a case. So that's just more of a trend happening more and more. So if you have pre-construction and you're owed commission, let us know. We've got a really good team out in Ajax, Laura, who's doing your follow-ups for you. We've been really successful at getting commissions. But oftentimes in her follow-up, they're also notifying us that, in fact, that project's not going to be completed or the unit has defaulted. So oftentimes we're getting more information than what we had in the first place. So there's a whole bunch of stuff happening with the world of pre-construction. I've always said don't use commission. Don't calculate that as part of your normal cash flow to pay your mortgage, things like that. Let it be a bonus because we don't know the timing of when it's going to come, even though you do have contracts and referral agreements that say when it's going to come. But these were some mega units. In this article, there were some brokers talking about how they did like 400 to 500 units in that hot pre-construction market. That's a lot of units to sell, holy. So, and he's saying, out of all those units, this is the first time now in 2025, 2026 that he's actually seeing people not pay commissions. So it is a trend that's going to be coming more and more now. But yeah, thankfully we only do a small part of pre-construction, so most of our guys are okay.
For those who are concerned about that, I've seen one where they never even cracked the ground. They never did anything. So those guys want their commission back. I've had others where the buyer never closed, and some of the builders want the commission back that was paid. Some of them, there's a 20% down, and if the client put 20% down, then the builder's not asking for the commission back. They're letting the agent keep the first payment, but they're not obviously going to give the second or third payments, but they'll let them keep the first one. So every builder is different.
And I think that's a testament to working with good builders, because in that particular case, it's a very well-known, reputable builder that probably doesn't want that bad press, and they're going to take it seriously, right? But
and then some of them are saying, okay, yes, you owe us this money, and we're prepared for you to pay it over a period of time. So that's the three scenarios that I've seen so far. So.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I forgot to mention too, so lawyers that are, or even if we have to start sending out like letters on your behalf to get commission, they're relying on the HCRA Code of Ethics to enforce those payments. So in your referral agreement that says, it's not like a CCR or ORIA form like you're doing residential. It's a very loose broker referral agreement on terms that change. There's no standard of forms, right? So this is maybe the only thing, which is their Code of Ethics, to try to use to get payment. And even that's a pretty loose sort of vague thing. Like Code of Ethics is this broad, ethical thing that developers have to go through, but just watch out for that. You can chat about that if you want to.
How many real estate agents do we have?
Did they update it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
68,795. So we peaked out at Peaked out in November 23 at
Looks like it, yeah.
75,000, and now it's 68,000, almost 69. And this is typical. Back in we were talking about this last week too. Back in the 1990s, we lost I think 25% of the agents or more. But there was only like 14,000 or 20,000 agents back then. It went down to 14,000 or something.
89 was peak around maybe we had 32,000.
So 32, and it went down to 20 something, or even less than that, I think. So,
17,000.
So it's about doubled since then.
yeah. So there's a lot of agents that got out of the business.
I think
which
it's going to stay that way too because we just saw the fees as a brand new agent coming onto Treb. So this may make you rethink about ever leaving Treb, or maybe be glad that you joined before 2026. These are the new fees if you're a new person coming into the business. There's a Treb entrance fee now, $460 just to join Treb. Then you have your Treb dues. I don't know why this one,
That one seems.
this is inflated. This is because they're prorating. It's $700. Those are your normal Treb dues. CREA has an initiation fee now. It's $500. Then you have your CREA annual dues, $310. Oria has an initiation fee now,
No, they always did.
$200. Then you have your annual dues. Then you have your ORWP. So for a new agent coming, this invoice is a little bit incorrect, but they were quoting a new agent $6,400 to join the Toronto Real Estate Board with all of these dues included. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I know that
And that's
sounds
after
crazy.
schooling and stuff.
There you go. Someone just said I think it should be higher. If this is a professional, highest earning career I think you can have almost in the industry. And these are fees. This gets you your ORIA forms. It gives you access to the entire system, your MLS PropTech system that you're going to be using for your clients. And I think it's going to bring down that $68,000 or 60,000 number a lot quicker. I think it's going to prevent people joining into it just as a side hustle, as a little thing to sell.
Yeah.
One thing. This is a little bit inflated. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
I don't know
causing
what
that. I think they're prorating it from when she left, but
Even
the initiation
that's
fees
inflated.
were new. So
That would be like 5 years. That's awful.
yeah. Go ahead. I thought.
RICO, you guys pay attention to RICO and iPro and all those things, or I don't know. So they fired the entire CEO and they fired the entire board of directors. They're all gone, and now the government's taken over, and the government's hired their own group of people to help them, and
The agents still don't.
then everybody's saying this is what we wanted. What I think what people wanted was to get rid of RICO altogether and go back to the government. Instead, what they're doing, they're trying to resurrect RICO and try to get it to look different or somewhere else. So a lot of people are saying that it's just lipstick. It's nothing's changed. So we'll see.
Is there any updates on the commission?
They came out with a statement saying that the new person is committed to making sure they get 100% of their commissions. I don't know how, under the insurance constraints, they plan to do that. I don't know if it's lack
This
of
was
knowledge.
Ford. This Ford says we're going to make everybody whole.
No, it wasn't
and-
Ford. It was the RICO guy that came out and said
it came
that.
out of Ford's
They both
mouth
did
first,
too.
and
Yeah.
this guy works for Ford, right? So that wouldn't be fair to anybody because there's lots of companies that went broke. You guys lost a bunch of commissions for those guys that stole the money. That Remax guy stole the money in Thornhill there. Remember the different projects, and we never got paid. So for the government to come in and pay these guys because the RICO guys screwed up, it wouldn't be fair. I wouldn't think. I don't know where they get the money.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to get 50 cents on the dollar anyways, and then they're going to. I think they're going to get it all, not through the insurance, but I think they had enough deals closing to maybe pay everybody, hopefully. But it's they're doing something anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, I can tell that they're in August timing just because of communication that I got confirming a deal that we were on the listing side for, but we have 6 claims since then, and I've only heard about the one from August, so they're probably slowly working through those.
Yeah. No. But it's okay. I mean, you still have insurance. I mean, it still covers it. So still, the consumers will all be whole. The consumers themselves, nobody lost any money there.
I have no more market real estate stuff.
Either.
Okay. I was just going to talk, we already sort of touched on it when we opened up with AI, but like I said before, it's more just knowing how your consumers are also looking at it. So these are your clients, how they're looking at it on a day-to-day basis. People are even referring to, instead of saying, I had to Google it, they're saying, I asked ChatGPT now. So even the sort of merge transition from using Google to search things has moved over to ChatGPT. This is what your clients are looking at. They're not Googling things anymore. They're using ChatGPT, same way you might in your real estate business. They're using it to create recipes. They're using it to create their schedules, to help them figure out workflows with their kids at home. They may even go on one day and say, hi, I live at so-and-so address. What's my home worth? And if you do that on your own home, you can test it on yourself. You're going to get a full market analysis of your home. Now keep in mind, it's just pulling data from the internet. ChatGPT doesn't really know about that house or what it looks like or what neighborhood it's in. So the consumer doesn't know that. They're probably going to go to you and be like, hey, Carly, I ChatGPT'd my own market worth. This is what I said. And then you as a human get to now have a conversation with that person and say, well, this was wrong about this, and actually this factor matters. So they're still going to rely on you, but they are going to use it. So don't be shy about that. They have more access to information than they've ever had before. House Sigma was the first instance of consumers having access to data and sold information. ChatGPT is going to give them a whole plethora of information, more than they've ever had before. You can't control it. We can't hide it. So just understand how they're using it. They're going to say, send me the best agent in Pickering, send me the best agent in Scarborough. They're going to use it to search for things they normally would on Google. So just be aware of that. That might even impact how your websites are built, and having keywords that make sure that thing pops up. Yep, Alex?
I've already had that where someone has gone to ChatGPT and it's pulled out specific clauses that cherry picked for them for what they needed, but it didn't work with the whole deal until it's cherry picking the one.
That's right. So they're even looking at their own closet. And they're going to say, hey, I don't like the standard pre-printed closet, or I want it to say this clause. And we have to have enough sense to explain what that clause means and be able to explain the difference so that we can say, no, you want to use the standard printed clause, not this one. I even have an agent send me a clause last week, and I called them immediately, and I was like, whoa, did the front desk send you this clause? She's like, no, I ChatGPT'd it. I'm like, what does it say? I couldn't even tell you what the clause means, and I was like, so be careful. If you're doing that yourself as
Copy
agent,
and paste.
don't do that too. But the reality is your clients are using it as well. So it's just a matter of being there, being accessible for them to talk things through, and just knowing how to decipher the information. Because like Claire said, you have to outsmart, you know more than ChatGPT does, but they are going to use it to get a lot of information. So just be aware of that and how your clients are going to be using AI in their own day-to-day life, not even for business.
And just to go back to what somebody said here, that if somebody's going to Google your name on ChatGPT, or are they going to say who's an agent for this area on ChatGPT? All ChatGPT is doing is Googling it, and it's Googling it, and if I happen to say I'm number one in Scarborough, it's going to say, well, this guy's number one in Scarborough.
That's right. It's just grabbing information data.
So maybe look at your webpage, look at your Instagram, look at your stuff there. That's where it's grabbing it from. So make sure that you're hopefully you've gone in and looked at your own webpage, and you have current photos, and you got stuff on there that's attractive. It's current. Right?
And I would still say local data matter. So even like your Google Maps local pages, it's still going to search local information. So having that accurate, having good keywords in there that might hit different searches is also important, because it's still going to find that local information. Because they might find something in ChatGPT, then they're going to go to Google Maps, maybe look at the reviews or look at your links or dig further into stuff, right? So make sure all that stuff is updated and presents the way that you want it to present.
But when we put something on the YouTube, 3 days later, check ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It showed up.
Yeah. So Shiv was saying on something on YouTube, they posted a video, they went to ChatGPT to make sure it came up, and it came up. It grabbed it right away, right? It's searching for it. Cool. 2026 new forms have not been launched yet, but I suspect it's going to come soon, maybe this week. I'm not seeing too many that are going to impact your world. I'm seeing a lot of like the designated representation agreements are changing. And so just in case you hear that language, for as long as Tressa's been here, we use brokered representation when we do your offers in our templates as well. Other brokerages or agents might be using designated representation. And because it's confusing, they've changed some of the wording in that, but it's not going to impact your world unless you're doing that. The multiple representation forms have changed. There is still 4 of them, one for the seller, buyer, tenant, and landlord. You still need multiple representation forms if you're working with another agent at all with C21 Percy Fulton. Maybe you have one side, they have the other side. That is still multiple rep. So make sure you do your multiple rep forms before you enter into any offers. We had our RICO audit and we were doing that form. I didn't see any concerns other than the fact that we were signing all the bubbles. So when we see the new forms, we just have to make sure we're signing the right bubble. So we'll guide you on that. Otherwise, I just see some small changes, nothing to the agreements, some commercial stuff. So we'll make sure we update our forms, but if you're not using the front desk to do your forms, make sure you update those on your end as well. We'll send out communication when they're officially ready.
And then what forms course too?
Yes, if you do want to enhance your learning, and you can take, there's a new 4-week, I think it's 4-week course done through Oria. I'm probably going to take it myself just so I've got the information to see it. I believe they're going to, I think, did somebody had attended it? You attended it, right, as part of the beta? Yeah. Was it good, like as a new person coming in? And I wonder if they're going to make it as part of the standard curriculum for new agents. I hope it's part of the standard when you're brand new. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, starting January, $650. It is a 4-week course. I believe it's 1 day a week for 4 weeks.
I think so.
So yeah, I think you shouldn't, if you're, especially January is a nice time to be doing that kind of stuff in education. I mean, we'll always train you, we'll always teach you. If you're using front desk, you're not going to have an issue. But if you are somebody that really wants to dig into it, you want to be able to explain things to your client, it's a nice thing to consider to further your education on it.
And just a reminder for those agents that have their own library of forms in their computer, on their desktop, that they've been using, those forms are,
Yeah, stop it.
those forms, stop it.
You'll know if you look at there's 2 dates. So the bottom right date will say when that form was last updated. So an agreement of purchase and sale hasn't been updated since like 2021 or something. It's going to look like an old date, but the bottom left will have the current year's date. So you should be using 2025 and then soon 2026. If you see anything older than those 2 years, it's an old form no matter what. Even our internal forms, like the transaction report, your privacy, I'm going to make a 2026 version so that you know it's the most up-to-date version. So everything should be updated once I send out communication. Not that the forms, to be said, are invalid if you used one by accident. So don't let another agent bully you if you accidentally used an old one, and it's still valid, but unless it's like from 1984 or something. But I'm okay with my stuff.
Just training? Okay. So in terms of training that's coming up, this Wednesday at 11, we're going to be doing a vision board day for all my vision board type of people. That's going to be here at the Kennedy office, and I'll do it online as well. Obviously online it's a little harder to do a vision board day because we're going to be getting you guys to bring in your laptops. It's going to be a digital vision board, not the ones where you're going to be clipping out. Unless you bring, I think a couple of girls last year actually did bring like magazine articles and they did theirs physically. I don't have any magazines or anything in my presence. So if you are going to be attending that, you do need to download or create an account on canva.com. It is a free account, and then I'm going to be walking you guys through how to make a vision board. Some of the guys have their vision boards up on their in their cubicles over here. I don't know if you can see them, but I think Alex, did you get rid of yours? Alex is done. He's going to create a new one this year. So it's good to go back, do it. A lot of you guys did do it last year. We printed it, and then you guys had it, put it on your screenshots for your phone. But that's going to be happening Wednesday. And then next Wednesday, I don't have the dates in front of me, but next Wednesday we're going to actually do more of a business planning session. So this week will be more fluffy on visualizing your goals. Next week I'm going to do a session on how to actually make those goals happen. So we'll actually come up with a plan. Sometimes we did a lot of business planning sessions before the new year, but I'm going to do one as well with you guys and just walk you guys through what type of prospecting we should be doing, marketing, and come up with some sort of marketing plan for the year. Week after that, we have a couple things going on. I think it's the 28th. I should have wrote the date.
Yep.
Sorry, 28th. January, we're going to be, Carly and I are going to be going to the Buzz Conference. So if anyone does want to go to the Buzz Conference, that's the 28th, 29th. It is a 2-day event. Otherwise, Sanik's going to be hosting a session on the 28th while we're gone. He's going to be doing a tech day.
By myself.
You did say yes.
He's like by
it was
myself.
mostly because we're going to be away. But Sanik's going to host a tech day. I've had a lot of people asking. I think it's going to be AI. I'm going to let Sanik pick a few tools that you guys should be using. Do you have any ideas? I know I kind of threw it
So
at you.
looking at Luma, Habista,
Luma?
Habstat's the new way to do
Stats.
stats.
Okay. Habistat, Luma. What's Luma?
Video.
Video.
So like put in like the market watch and then it'll create its own video based on your
Perfect.
picture.
Okay, so come here on the 28th with Sanic. It's going to be in person, probably live as well. We're trying to get you guys to come in person for more of these events because it makes it a little bit more enjoyable to do training, honestly, when there's a full room of people. The week after that, I think it's February 4th. Claire's going to be helping me. He doesn't know it yet, but we're going to be doing a session on how to retire.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
I booked him in. He doesn't. Well, we've talked about it. I just actually put a date, but we talked a lot about it last year, near the end of the year. We've had some agents reaching out saying, "How do I retire?" Some of our older agents have been traveling, but they're still getting calls from clients, but they don't want to be servicing the clients as much anymore. I might even have some agents that are maybe not older, but maybe thinking about retirement at some point. So Claire and I are going to do a session on how to retire or how to sell your book of business. It's a good session for you guys. Honestly, my younger agents should come to the session too because it's going to get you guys just to be thinking a little bit more long term, or it'll give you guys some ideas of how you guys can connect with these older agents to help them retire. So it's going to be a good session for every group of people, but Claire hasn't retired yet, so we may have to do a session.
It's not a session on how the broker
Okay, so
retires.
let me give you a
How the
story.
agent.
Let me give you a story here. Okay, so years ago there used to be a couple. We had a whole bunch of different, very very strong agents, but two in particular. One in particular, a guy named Ender. And Ender was a machine. Anybody remember him? I know some people do, right? He was aggressive, machine. He had no conscience. He would go after, at the time he could do expiries and FSBOs, and that's all he did. And he would phone, and he was going for the kill, and he would get the kill, and he would do very successful. He was selling, I don't know, 100, 200 houses a year or something. It was very, very successful. He was even coaching for Mike Ferry at one time, too, as a coach. But anyways, he decided he wanted to move to Vancouver, and not retire, but to do development. His wife was from Vancouver, so they wanted to quit here and start a new business in Vancouver. So then he decided that he wanted to do something with all this past client business, but he had no past client business. It was all new business because he was going for the kill. FSBOs, expiries, it was no past client database. This is Mike Ferry days where past client database, farming was all, it was no good, right? So then he decided, okay, I'm going to retire. So he took 3 years, he started getting his database together. Finally did. So the last 3 years of his career, he finally got a database, and then he and I sat down with another person, and we sold his business to somebody else. Easy. Easy.
How much?
It was a percentage over a period of time.
Kathy about it, right?
So we'll probably talk about like those different ways that you can buy.
And now I've had other people that have come to me and say, "Hey, Clare, I'm going to retire," and I say, "That's great. Give me your list," and I don't have a list.
So heartbreaking.
All right. So there's an opportunity. So if you're really thinking about retiring, and I'm sorry, everybody's going to retire, but some people just fade away, or if you're going to make a decision. But the good side is, even if you're not going to retire, you've got your database, which you should have in the first place, anyways. So even though you might not be considering retiring, this is for everybody because sometime you're going to want to, or nothing else, your business is going to be in shape.
Or you might change your lifestyle and want to travel and have help on the streets, but you're still building a business.
Or the advantage of doing this the second time. Hey, I want an assistant, or I want to hire another agent to help me. Well, help you what? And then what's your system? What's your database? What are you selling? What is it? And this is, I assume that's what you want to talk about.
Yes, we'll just talk about if you're going to do a lump sum payment of a database, if it's going to be referral based, if it's like when the timing is, how you want to do it. So we'll talk about just the different ways that you can retire.
Or transition.
Or transition. Maybe it's growing your team.
Transition,
and
or partner, or hire an assistant. You can do all different things with it. So.
Yeah. So that's what Claire and I will be doing February. Week after that, we're going to do the listing presentations. So I'm going to just talk about 2 different styles of listing presentations that you guys should be doing this year. Claire just popped this up, like things like this. So if you guys have a presentation but you want to add to your presentation, there's all these different things that people are selling now to you guys, which isn't a bad idea. This is like a listing presentation box. If you guys follow our friend Trevor at C21 Millennium, he's got a giant box that he has that his agents purchased. and they go to an appointment, and it's just something that stands out. If they're competing with another agent, it will have a bunch of info. His is more high tech, where it's got videos and stuff like that you can put in it. But this one's from getlistings.com. I keep seeing it pop up on my Instagram. It's $7. I don't know when you printed this, but it might be $27 now. But it's a box that you can put your face on and your logos, and then inside of the box it'll be like checklists for sellers and probably like a seller's guide and a bunch of info. So the whole point of it is just to have something to bring to the listing appointment, either with you or the day before as a pre-list package. But we can talk about like different stuff like this too on how you guys can differentiate yourselves. But that's getlistings.com. And
Can I just add to that for a
Yeah.
second there? Okay, so I've got some agents. We used to teach this years ago. I don't know if you guys still teach or not. Hopefully you do.
I do.
So one agent in particular I got in my mind. So he's got these binders, and he's got these binders that are prepared. Now you guys are all digital now, so I guess you don't need the binders, but you can probably put it into a digital. But
I
anyways,
think people still print their presentations, so
That's
even
nothing
if they're
wrong
new
with
school.
so you would have a seller's binder and a buyer's binder. Let's say a buyer's binder. And in that binder, it would have on the heel of it, would have his name on there or her name and the company or else. And then inside this binder would be the guy's offer, the guy's survey, if they happen to have any surveys, any schedules, any lawyer's letters, feature sheets of the property, just all information about the property itself, and you put it all in a little package in a folder and gave it to the client when the deal closed. Psychologically, what would happen is that client going to take that binder and throw it away?
No.
Chances are he's going to put it somewhere. And chances are in 5 years from now, when he wants to go sell the property, what's he going to do? He's going to grab that folder because it's got all his information all in that one spot. And whose name's on that folder? Right? So the whole idea was future business.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Right?
It's a pretty good idea.
Because other people that buy a house want to sell their house. Well, the paper's here and the survey's over there and something's over here and it's all over the place. But he's
Yeah.
put it all in one package here. There it
Put
is.
your business card in there as a reminder.
Put your business card in there, and then when the guy wants to sell something later on, your name pops up.
Yeah.
Who's bought a new car in the last 4 or 5 years? Who can tell me the name of the salesperson you bought it from?
It's an app.
One or two people can, because did that person buy a house through you?
No.
That sales
I bought
rep?
from him 3 times.
So the next thing is
Not me at all.
he's got to buy a house through you next, right?
Yeah.
He does.
Right.
Right.
So the purpose of that comment is a lot of people don't remember who they bought the car from.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the idea of having this binder that's sitting there. So.
It's a good idea.
Good idea.
You can add that to the list. And then the end of February, final thing is awards. I think February 26th. So put that in your calendar. It's a lunch, not a late night thing.
Do we know when award letters will come out? That must be very soon. Like, we'll be sending out our official announcement, I think, soonish, right? Sorry?
What day does that start?
True. We're going to say, yeah, Ramana will make sure that we include that. Anyways, yeah, the actual award letters will come out soon, too.
Yeah. So busy January, February. Ajax office is getting a lot of questions. It's not officially open yet, guys, but we are, where are we at? We're painting it right now.
We bought it with the intent of not doing anything, and then this weekend we demoed a whole wall. Sorry, Claire.
We saw a wall that had flooring on it, and
There was a wall we didn't
it was
like,
bothering us.
and it was really bothering me. We tried to do all these like quick fixes, and it turns out it's like actual porcelain tile concrete to the wall, so the whole wall had to be taken down. But it's already back up. It happened.
back up.
It's already back up in one weekend. So, yep.
It just needs drywall.
Yeah.
But yes, if anyone's asking why no one's in there yet, it's because we are just making it pretty, but hopefully our goal is first week of February to have it officially open, but I know people are getting really excited for it, so that's just kind of where we're at right now with it, but it's not going to take too much long. We're not like doing a whole lot. But yeah, that's where we're at with Ajax. I think some agents have driven by it already.
Nice, good.
You guys are seeing our videos of the progress, so just keep watching. We'll let you know.
Yep. Cool. Anything else?
Anybody have anything they want to sell?
Any listings anyone wants to talk about? Alex, any condos you want to talk about?
Poor guy.
Do you want to come here and just take the microphone so everyone?
Lovely condo in Bowmanville,
The condo in Bowmanville, is it considered an assignment, or it's
still on assignment.
still an assignment, but it's all fully done and like ready? So
Unit is complete.
yeah.
will have a balcony.
Will have a
Does not
balcony.
have a balcony.
Has
It's
a
okay.
Juliet.
It will.
Juliet.
It's a ground level unit,
Look, 555 square feet.
550 square feet, for
399.
399.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good.
It's very
Yeah,
good.
For brand new.
So
The average price in Durham, I just said, was 555,000. So 399 sounds pretty good.
cheap, you're getting at least a 15% discount from what I paid for it. So courtesy of me.
Parking,
There's parking and a large locker.
that's good.
Just to repeat those people at home there, so we've got a condominium that the seller's prepared to, it's a pre-construction, the seller's prepared to give up their deposit. Somebody just takes over the paper.
How much was the deposit?
That's
170,000.
Just a distress sale.
660.
Yeah.
It was 20%.
Yeah. Those opportunities out there still.
Like a lot of-
Everyone's scared.
It's not an insignificant amount of money, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Alex will not be doing that again.
Okay. Anything online? Any comments or anything? I think everything's the same next week. No holidays or anything.
No,
Cool.
we'll see you Wednesday.
So we'll see
Vision
you
board
this
day.
Wednesday and then Monday again. Bye. Have a good week.